Hello and welcome to Art School Live. My name is Mandy Tice. I am guest hosting Art School Live today, and we have a very special guest for all of you. Today, my guest is Efren Gonzalez. Efren, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I am happy and excited to be here with you today. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us what we're going to learn with you today?
Well, before I do that, I just want to show you something very quickly.
Okay. Hello. Oh, we have a whole in-person class as well. How wonderful.
So I'm teaching a class, and I had to be here with them, and I wanted to have them here cheering for me. So here they are, and I think they're happy to be here. So what I'm going to be working with is reflections. I'm going to be showing how the reflections work using darks, and I don't know if you guys have the reference photo. I have it here, but no, that's not it. No.
So these are pictures of your work. Do we also
That's
have?
the one I'm going to be working with.
Oh, okay. So we're going to work with this boat photo today.
Yes.
Yes.
So what I'm going to be doing is, of course, I'm going to be using my palette. I have not a very large palette. I work with reduced colors, and I'm going to work the way I teach. I paint in different manners, but the way I teach is very explicit, and it actually simplifies the whole process, and it's quite effective. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And the reference photo that we have is one of Ajijic, which is the town where we live in Mexico. And we live on the north shore of Lake Chapala, which is a beautiful lake. And that's my reference photo.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so excited to get to watch you work today, and we're going to get the show started.
Okay.
It's Art School Live with Eric Rhoads. Now, here's your host, Eric Rhoads.
Hello, everyone. You may have noticed I am not Eric Rhoads. My name is Mandy Tyson. I am filling in for Eric today while he's away on one of his art adventures. And today we have a very special artist to share with you, Efren Gonzalez. Efren, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always an honor, and it's always pressure too, because of course, I want to perform well. And every time we're doing, I say that to many people, every time we're doing a piece, a demo, I'm putting my reputation at risk, but I feel pretty confident about what I'm going to do.
That's a great way of putting it. And you're very brave to share with us today on the spot going live. So thank you for that.
Okay, so I want to show what I showed you previously. May I?
Yes, please.
It will just take 2 seconds.
Because we have a full class of students joining us. Hello, and people in the chat are saying their hellos as well. So we have a very international community here, all gathered round to watch a master at work.
Well, what I was explaining before is that I am teaching a watercolor class as today, and the class goes for 2 more days. But I wanted to share this with the people who support what I do, my students, and also the people that work with me. And it's important for them to see. I'm ready to start whenever you tell me to start.
Okay. Can we just get your camera turned a little bit more towards your canvas? All right.
Yes, I think I have it.
Great.
Right there, because I want you to see. Let me put my eyes on. Yeah, there you can see pretty much everything. And the photograph of the reference is exactly where it needs to be. So there we are. You tell me when to start.
Let's start. We're ready. We're chomping at the bit. We can't wait to see what you do today.
Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, first of all, I'm going to do my sketch. And one of the things that I don't know if you can see, the little letters that I have there where I speak about how I work. And how I work is by going in my sketch from big to small. So right now I'm mixing my color to do my sketch. I don't use pencil. I don't use charcoal. I go right to the ink that I create. I use deep red and Prussian blue with a little bit of solvent. And once I have that, then I'm going to go ahead and start. So this is the big shapes that I see. So for instance, I see something like this. And it's not necessarily that I want to see a boat right away from the takeoff. It's just measuring. It's just trying to find the spaces that feel comfortable to me so that I can go there and then invest my time, my brush strokes and my colors in the proper space. So this is a guidance to me. It's just giving me an idea of what size everything else is, everything in the painting is. And for instance, at this moment, there's nothing much there to see other than the size. And that is so important to have and to analyze before investing time. So I go with another line because I know that I have the size that I want. Having said that, I can go there and start bringing some more detail to my piece because, of course, I need to see the definition of the whole thing before I start putting color. But here, what I have is an old boat. It's actually a pretty old boat. I don't think it's around anymore. It's been destroyed because, things happen. But it was here for many years. I remember it. I could remember going down to the lake. I actually painted a plein air right there. And it's a beautiful lake, and it creates a wonderful weather right here in our section of Mexico. And I have to tell you, we live in a town that it's an art community. There's a lot of things happening all the time. And we have the benefit of having a huge expat community, Canada, the States, many European people. And it's a very multinational, multicultural, small community in Mexico. Anyhow, so I have the boat now. And now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to switch my brush to a bigger one because we don't have the luxury of time. So I'm going to go for the big brush. If you have any questions, please interrupt me. Otherwise, I'll just...
Can you clarify for us, are you working in oil painting or in watercolors?
Yes, yes. No, this is oil. This is oil.
Okay.
The class that I'm teaching is watercolor.
Okay,
And,
I understand.
Yeah, so one thing I have to say, and I don't mind saying it publicly, is that watercolor is actually the technique that I like the most. Is the technique that I love the most. But I have been doing at the Plein Air convention. I worked as part of the faculty with all of them, Eric and everybody up there. And I did it for the first time in Asheville, North Carolina. Last year also in Reno. And I am planning to be there in Missouri at the Ozarks.
Excellent.
But everybody
for those
there knows
watching,
me.
Yeah, Efren's referring to the PACE, the Plein Air Convention and Expo, and it is coming up soon. And we did have the hotel completely sell out already, but we have another hotel available. So you can learn more at the pleinairconvention.com.
Okay, I've got to find out about that.
Yes.
Because I was one of the ones that couldn't get a space in the main hotel. So I can always sleep under a bridge or something.
That's how much a going place is worth it. So it's a great event. If anybody has been on the fence about going, I cannot encourage you enough. It's so wonderful.
Yes, indeed. I went the first time when they had it in Las Vegas, and I wasn't really expecting how wonderful it was. It's basically I can say it. I've been painting all my life, but that moment was a key moment in my career because it opened up my eyes about the potential worldwide. Because I had been working only in Mexico, and I work in several spaces in Mexico. But when I went to the convention the first year, I just became addicted, and I started to meet so many great artists, and I had the opportunity to be with them and learn from them.
Yeah.
So I have been there already for a while, and it's been a wonderful experience. I can say that much.
Yeah. Last year was my first time attending, and now I'm an evangelical for PACE. I'm like, no, this is actually an amazing thing. If you're a painter and you are like needing that next thing, like that's where you should go.
Oh, definitely. And one of the things also that I can say is that, when I started, I thought, I have to say this openly too, and I have my crew here, my team, my supporters. The first time I went, I thought I knew what I was doing, painting wise, you know. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna have people clapping and this and that. My big ego took over. I get there, and before I started to paint, this was Red Rock Canyon in Vegas, and I first went to check on other people to see how they were doing. And oh my God, they were just great, everyone. So I thought, okay, they gathered the best ones on this section, so I'm gonna go and check the other section. It was exactly the same or even worse. So that was really good for me because it placed me exactly where I needed to be. You know, I want to grow, I want to do better work, and I try every time to learn as much as I can. That's how I take this experience of painting, you know, not only with Plein Air, but everywhere I go. And when I share what I do, what I know, that's exactly what I do. You know, I try to grow, I try to learn, and I learn a lot from my students also, you know, because they many times they don't even know. They give me solutions to things that I have, you know. So there's a lot of learning.
Yes, I mean, there's so many wonderful ways to learn. And wasn't it Leonardo da Vinci said when he was 80 years old, if only he had 80 years, then he could really learn how to draw, right?
Well, you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is I did my darks. Now I'm going to fill in the space for the water. So one of the things that I'm doing is I am using the paint, but I'm spreading it as much as I can, as much as possible, because the one thing that I want to do is I want to imitate one of the main qualities of acrylic painting, which is it dries fairly fast. So what I'm doing is I'm pretty sure you can actually hear the brush. I'm trying to spread the color as much as possible with that idea in mind, thinking, you know, if I spread it properly, then I have the ability, the space is ready to receive another coat without my colors blending. And then
so are you thinning your oil paint with anything to get it on there thinly?
What was that again, please?
Are you mixing anything into your oil paint to thin it, or are you just placing it on?
Yes, I am. I am using Liquin, the drying product, the French product Liquin, which is it speeds up the drying process. And I do that because if I just use the paint as it comes out of the tube, it's too stiff, and it doesn't allow me to move the paint correctly. And another thing that I want to share is the fact that, you know, as you see, I started doing my painting against this kind of orangey background because I don't really want to work against a white background. It's been years that I don't use the white background because, you know, every time I do something, it has to fight against the stark white. And I don't want that to be an issue. You know, so I just solve it by killing the white with that background color, and then anything I do shows up nicely, especially the light, you know. And another thing is that if I leave any empty spaces, which sometimes I do on purpose, it allows the reddish orange color to show through, which makes.
I'm not sure if it's just me, but I think we might have lost our dear friend Efren for a minute. So I will take over until we get him back online. So today Efren is painting with oil paints. There was a little confusion because he's teaching a watercolor workshop, but he's actually painting with oils today. Just to clarify that. And, he said a lot of wonderful things about pace. And one thing I wanted to say while he was talking about that is there are a lot of really amazing painters there. Oh, I think we have you back. We lost you briefly.
No es el internet.
Some sound, but not a video yet. Okay, we'll keep working on adjusting the situation here. Efren, if you can hear me, we don't have your video any longer. Okay, I do hear some background noise, but I'm not sure if it's our staff or if it's different. So we'll work on getting that back online. The Plein Air Convention Expo is coming up soon. It's an incredible opportunity. It's May 14th through 18th, and they do have an additional hotel available. It's going to be our biggest and best one ever. It's incredible that we already sold out the first hotel. And also, I wanted to say that if you are an experienced painter, you will get exposure to lots of amazing painters, and kind of like what Efren was saying, like, oh, it's incredible what you have access to. But if you're a beginner painter, like I had almost no plein air experience. I have a lot of studio experience, but when I went to the convention, I had no idea how to paint outside. I had no idea. And people were so kind and so nice, and they take your hand and they say, Mandy, that's not the right easel to have outside. Or Mandy, here, let me lend you this color that you need when you're painting, live colors outside. Like I was terrified of Phthalo blue before I went to the plein air convention, right? So, it really is such an amazing community and such a great opportunity to learn. So I cannot emphasize enough how amazing that opportunity is. And also, while we are working on getting Efren back online, I wanted to let you know that we have a free ebook for you today. You don't want to miss it. So you can sign up for the ebook. It's 201 Essential Plein Air Painting Tips. You can go to pleinairmagazine.com/ebook. And it's a great way to prep for going to PACE for the first time, the 10th time, anytime you want to go. If you're like, just wrap your mind around it, it's a free download. So download it and give it a look-see and see if the Plein Air Convention might be for you. We'd love to see you all. I know I would personally love to see all of you at PACE this coming year. So also with Efren, you can follow him on Instagram at EfrenGonzalez_art, or his website is artefrengonzalez.com. artefrengonzalez.com. Sorry. I'm trying to get my brain to function today. Okay, so while we are continuing to work with Efren, if you have any generalized questions about painting in the chat, anything you've ever wanted to ask me, feel free. We have a kind of a freebie moment here. If anybody has requests too for future art school lives, we're always looking for things that you want to see, you want to learn, what we can do for you. Oh, and I see a lot of people are planning on going, and I can't wait to paint with all you there too. It's going to be so much fun. Yes. Okay. And we have people joining us from all over the world today. So we have Ulrika from Germany. Welcome. We have Marilyn here. Welcome, Marilyn. We have people from all over the place. Something that we did the other day that I really enjoyed, if this is your very first time watching us live, give us a shout out in the chat, maybe a little hello. I'm always curious if this is your first time, we want to make sure to welcome you and say hello. So don't be shy and give us a shout out in the chat. So there's a question about which plein air easel that I use. So I've gone through 3 in my very short plein air career so far. So I've been painting outside consistently for about a year. I used to just take my metal stand right easel outside. So I wasn't hiking anywhere. And I'm like, I have an easel, it's fine. And you know what? It was fine. The important thing is just to get your bum outside and painting. So just take your studio easel outside. It works just fine. Now, when you're traveling, it gets a little harder to carry a studio easel around on the airplane, etc. So I find that I really, at the Plein Air Convention, there was a Goat Box, the company, we're not supposed to say companies, sorry. There was a handmade Pourchade box that was available at Plein Air Convention that I fell in love with, and they're all handcrafted from wood. And I then decided that I needed a wood tripod because I didn't like that I had this beautiful, gorgeous wood Pourchade box and then this like metal easel. It felt wrong to me. So I tracked down an all wood tripod, and now I feel like so 1800s going out, and I just really enjoy that aesthetic. Like I like that it's all wood, and it has somehow having like the aesthetics of your materials match your personal aesthetics was uplifting for my painting. So I really enjoyed doing that. Oh, and we have Candlin K. Welcome. It's your first time. We have people watching from Austria as well. Thank you, Lorna, for joining us from all the way from Austria. Oh my goodness. It's so wonderful to see you. Good morning from Northern California. Excellent. So yeah, and as you gain experience, just like when you're painting in the studio, when you are plein air painting, you develop preferences, right? The artist we had on yesterday, I couldn't believe it when they told me that they took 11 by 14, 14 by 17, this enormous canvas outside, and had a custom Porchade box made for that size, to paint that large. That was amazing. I'd never seen anybody paint so large outside. I find personally, I like to paint very small. I like everything contained. I find that if I can keep everything in my one, shoulder bag that I need to go out and paint, that I paint more often. So I like to have just a setup in my car, ready to go. You see that beautiful view when you're driving and you pull over and you freaking paint it, right? That's the joy of landscape painting, is that the whole world is so beautiful and just ready for you to notice it. And at any moment, it can be the painting that you just have to get. Oh, that's a great question. Is it possible to rent an easel at Pace? I'm not sure about that, but there are great options. They have a great, what do they call it? Like a hall where everybody's selling art supplies. And there's a lot of great options running from very cheap to very nice, right? But also a lot of people that go, I know of at least one person last year that had an extra setup that they lent me, right? So the people that go want to help you, right? Like whatever you need, they will find it for you and help you find it. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. You can just take your regular paints and a palette and, just sit there without an easel, on the ground and paint. That's totally valid, right? You'll see people doing that too. So you don't let the special equipment keep you from painting outside. Like, once you're painting outside and you've tried a few things and you decide what you like, then buy some equipment. But, you can get by with very little. The important part is that you are using your eyes outside, right? And you're observing and you're learning, and you will learn so much, especially at Pace, because you have maybe 20 people around you painting a similar view. And all of a sudden you see them solve a visual problem in one way, and the person on the other side is solving a visual problem in another way. Like, this person's tree is green and this person's tree is blue. And you ask them and they're like, oh, well, I made it blue because I wanted more contrast, color contrast in my painting. And the other one's like, oh, I made it more green because that's closer to, the direct observation that I had. So there's so many ways that you learn by painting in a group, even if you don't even talk to anybody else, just because you're seeing how many different ways the same view is being solved, like all the problems, all the visual questions that we get, like, oh, why doesn't my tree look right? Why does my ground look wrong? Why is my cloud so fake looking? Whatever your problem is, you can see 20 other people trying to solve the same problem with 20 different solutions. And you're like, oh, I like that one. And all of a sudden you borrow that into your painting, or, oh, I like this one. And you borrow that into your painting. All right. Okay, so lots of great questions. Yeah, and there is maintenance on easels. I'm a very lazy cleaner upper, and I found that I've had to refinish my palettes or the easel, the Porchade box. I've had to, sand it down and clean it out more than once because I was lazy about cleaning my palettes. So I would say with plein air, making sure that you have a good system for keeping things organized and clean, because when you're out in the field, sometimes we don't have that sing candy that we need. So that's like another set of skills that you learn, and you see people's, these are the logistics, right? What easel you use, how you clean up in the field. These are all logistics that will help you be better at what you do, that support the painting. They're like the backup singers of painting, if you will. Yes. And so Marilyn's saying that like loads of artists carry extra easels. I mean, I had two with me and I only came with one, right? And then I had one to lend out. And yeah, other people are mentioning getting somebody's mentioning the painting behind me, and I love this story, so I'd like to share it with you. This is not my painting. To my knowledge, I don't know the painter of this painting, but I live in a really old neighborhood just outside of New York City, and everybody in this neighborhood has paintings by this hand. I don't know the name, but you can recognize the hand at various of my neighbors' houses, because there was like this basically a drunk artist in the 1930s to 40s that would go around. if you look at the back of this canvas, you've never seen anything so crappily constructed. Like this is a burlap, like stretched on like scrap wood that was nailed together in this bizarre way. I've never seen anything like it, right? Because he didn't have any money because he was an alcoholic. And then he would make a painting, sell it to one of the neighbors, and then go on a bender, right? So this is like the neighborhood history about this painter. So we know that he stretched canvases with the most awful materials in the worst way possible, probably because he was drunk. We know that he was a drunkard, and we know that he managed to get lots of people in the neighborhood to support him and his art. So if you ever feel like you hit a new low in painting, you know, like you can make it all sorts of ways. Oh, this is, oh, are we back?
I'm back.
Oh, yay. Okay. Efren, welcome back. Thank you so much for working with our technical issues here.
I'm sorry for that, but I am back.
All right. And we're happy to have you back. Can you tell us what you did while we were away?
Well, first of all, I was very nervous trying to get this thing together, but I have friends here who are helping me, and we got it back. I'm sorry about that issue, but I'm still filling in. I'm almost there. I have basically filled in my whole space, and I'll be ready to start enhancing what I have here. All of this is preparation for the light to come, because what's most important to me is the light. So everything that I'm doing at this moment has to do with that, the preparation for the light. Obviously, you know, here's the reflection that I have. It's very dark because that's what I see in my reference photo. And now I filled it all in, and I can see that my painting has good potential. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue bringing in some of the light. Once I have done something like this, where the whole canvas has been filled, then I can just start enhancing little things, and I can go any way I want. I can go either to the light, which is what I'm doing now, or I can go back to the dark to try to emphasize some absence of light in certain spaces, certain sections of my painting. But it's all happening, you know, in general. I like to work all over my painting. I don't like to develop, enhance only one little section. So because of that, you know, I can see the whole effect on my painting happening, so that I can have, I like to speak of it like this. When I develop everything in my painting, I have the full evidence of what's happening, and I can evaluate better whether, you know, one color, one tone, one value is working for me or not, and make better decisions.
That's beautiful. And I agree with Karen in the chat, who's saying that doing everything in preparation for the light, that's a beautiful way of saying it.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's if you look at it, you can see there, dark to light. So the light usually in my process becomes the last things that I do. So for instance, I've done enough here of the light because I have enough understanding of what the painting is going to be all about. But the one thing that I now feel that I need to do, it's I need to go back to my darks and work them a little bit more, because I'm enhancing the light, but I need to also go back to the darks, because it's important to manipulate everything, and I don't want to go all the way to the maximum light without enhancing a little bit my darks. So I'm going there now. So I don't want these sections, for instance, to be completely dark, because there's a bunch of little rocks, pebbles, shales. There's actually heavier rock right about there. So there it is. That's my rock. And of course, that's only the preparation for it. There's a bunch of bricks tied up together back here, which serve as a retainer, a holding for the piece of rope that they use to keep this boat on shore. So again, continuing enhancing the dark sections of my painting.
Do you have any advice for those of us watching? I know I struggle with this, and maybe other people in the audience do too. When you're switching from the light areas to the dark areas, how do you keep your painting from getting muddy?
Oh, that's a good question. What happens is look, I'm going to do it, and I will explain everything that's happening. So I've got, this is not a light. This is, it's obviously lighter than everything that I have there. But what I'm doing, I know where in my brush, what section on my brush has the color. So look, I am putting the rocks where I think I want to see them. And then I'm just, unload at the same time that I'm doing all these things. At the same time, I am unloading my brush. So meaning the light that I have in my brush is beginning to be placed on the canvas. So I'm going to go back here and do a little bit more of that. You can see that. But now my brush is almost empty. So that means I can go to any color. Now my brush is absolutely empty. It still moves the color a little bit here and there, but my brush is empty. So that means I can go through, I'm going to go, you will see, I'm going to go straight to true black. For black, I use deep red Winsor Newton, and then I use the Payne's Gray. No, Payne's Gray, I'm sorry, no. It's Prussian blue, and I've got the black now. I didn't clean my brush. And the little bit of leftover that it's in my brush is all the way to the back because the actual part of my brush that touches the canvas has been unloaded. So I'm gonna do that the opposite now. So I'm going to unload my brush of the dark so you can see, So I'm gonna go where I see that the dark is necessary. And I'm not reloading my brush because the idea is to go back to the white. I mean, I don't really need to go back to the white, but I want to do it so you can see how it works. Here, I like this color. It's a nice shadow, but it's the wrong pigmentation. So I need to go back to the red and maybe, the red and maybe a little bit of orange. I've got my color now. So I go, that's the color I need, which is a little redder, browner, more orangey. And because I am again unloading my brush. So in simple words, in a few words, I can do a whole painting without necessarily cleaning my brush, which is something that is quite effective, but not many people do it, because people have different ways. But I like to do it this way, I want to save paper. I don't want more trees being cut down.
Nice. Well, I'm actually a one brush painter myself, more or less, but it stemmed from my hatred of washing brushes. Mine wasn't quite as altruistic as yours.
Exactly, yeah. So I have my, everyone in my family paints, and they are all in my case because my brushes are usually not clean. But what I tell them is, before they dry, I will be using them again. So I don't really need to go and clean them every time that I stop.
Yeah.
But no, I do love my brushes, and I do. In fact, I get most of my brushes at the convention, and I use. Well, I'm saying that, and I'm not using one of them at this moment, but I use mainly rosemary brushes, which I love, and they have them there for sale, and I love to go shopping there too. That's another one of the things that keeps. Me back to the convention.
Shopping at Pace is great fun indeed. We try not to mention specific brands, but there is a brush maker that comes to Pace that is very difficult to import brushes into the country otherwise. So it's a great opportunity to access these handmade brushes that are more challenging to acquire via other methods.
Yes, and one of the things there is also that, for me, one of the best things is that I get to see so many people that are doing, really great work, and it's inspiring. It's so inspiring to me. I am very proud of what I have learned and done in my life as an artist, especially living in Mexico, because we don't have many of the facilities that you have up north. And, of course, something like the Plein Air Convention, it's one of the major things happening in the world, and I'm very proud to participate with them, but with all of you. But the thing about it is that, just getting to see these people that some of them, honestly, Mandy, I can tell you, I thought that some of these guys were dead. And I go there and I run into them and I shake their hands and I take pictures with them. And it's just outstanding. Suddenly I just enjoy being there. I love participating in this convention. And so, as far as I can, as long as I can, I will keep participating because it's an investment, yes, of course, but I gain so much. I gain so much more than I have to invest, and that is a wonderful feeling. And I want to say that too. If there's any way that my words support the project, there it is. It's a lovely experience, and as long as I can, I will keep attending.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just such a magical experience. And I have that feeling too when you meet your heroes that you maybe didn't know were alive or dead. And then you meet them face to face. What a fun experience.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And another thing that I think is wonderful is the generosity of all of them. That is amazing to me. I'm going to have to clean my brush now because I really want to go to the brights. I want to go to the highlights that are up there, and this is the first time I clean my brush, so I'll just wipe it in a paper towel, and I'm gonna go to the white. I'm sorry, but what I was telling you is that just learning from them and the inspiration that I get is just outstanding. So here I am trying now the application of my lights, because the canvas is covered in fresh wet paint. Although I try to do it as dry as possible, it's still wet. So now I change the approach. You can see how when people are watching me live, I tell them, even my body posture changes.
Is that pressure from your audience?
Yes, yeah, they're right behind me here, and you should see the look they're giving me every time I do something wrong.
I'm sure it's a look of awe at what you're doing on the canvas. I'm sure that's the look.
Yeah. I have to say, this is one of the things that is very important. I spoke a little bit about being in Mexico. I have to tell you, we have the privilege, the honor of being in one of the most active communities art-wise, and much of it, or a big chunk of it, is supported by people who came from other countries. Of course, we have a big Mexican community also being active in arts. But I can tell you, the reason why I have been able to do my professional career here in Mexico, it's because of all these people that come from other countries, and they fall in love with Mexico, and then they become family before they know it. And I'm just grateful to all of them, not only to the people that are here with me watching today, but the people that were here before us. We actually have an art museum that we founded in 2022, and the art museum shows pieces of art that were done over 100 years ago here in the area, because obviously most of those people are long gone, and they don't have anybody to push their work anymore. So we try to rescue art, we buy art, we restore, we exhibit, and we try to educate people through the museum, because we know that before us there have been so many people that it is important to give them the respect they need, because it's not just the few artists or the artists alive now. So we try to do as much as necessary to show their work. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside the boat now. So I see stuff in there. I don't really know what it is, and obviously I don't really care. I just want to paint it.
That's a great painter's answer. Can you tell us again the name of the city that the museum is in and the city that you're working in?
Yes, it's a small town in the state of Jalisco. It's called Ajijic. The pronunciation is Ahihic, but the spelling is Ajijic. Ajijic. Yeah, and we are on the north shore of Lake Chapala, which is the biggest lake in Mexico, and it's really beautiful. And we have thousands of people who came from other countries, and they live here. In fact, I can tell you, I learned to speak English here in my town, in the streets. Obviously, I went to school and did all that, but the English I speak, I learned from the people who came from other countries and made Ajijic their home.
Well, I'm so grateful to learn more about this little nestled artist community that I didn't know about before today.
I know. You know, I've been extremely lucky to be in a place like this, because I can tell you, just a couple miles from where we are, there are other towns, but none of the other towns have the active cultural life, artistic life that we have here. So, you know, and a lot of people are creating art. Many of them are sponsors. There's all types of creativity. You know, it's not only painting. There's many things. There's theater, there's singing, there's music, of course, dancing, all of it. Sculpture, photography, everything. So, well, I think I'm coming. Okay, I'm coming close to wrapping this up. I know that the time is limited, but I want to show you.
Yes. I wanted to give you a few extra minutes since we had the interruption.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes, I'm the goddess of time.
Oh, there you are. So I hear my bells. I call my bells the bells of the church here, which is only a half a block from where we have the studio. And whenever I'm going to do a class, the people who take the class, they know that once, you know, we hear those bells exactly at 9 o'clock in the morning, it's time to start. By then, everybody should have their coffee, their cookies or juice, whatever they're drinking. And everybody goes to where the demo of the day is going to happen. And so everybody knows, we hear the bells and it's time to work. So
your studio has an otherworldly feel to it. How wonderful.
All right. So where is Eric these days? May I ask?
That is a great question. I actually don't know where he is at this exact moment, only that I'm subbing for him today.
Okay.
Definitely on an art adventure. You never know with him. He could be anywhere in the world painting or doing a workshop or something.
Oh, yes, I know. So he has been such an inspiration to me too, because of the marketing, you know, just going at it, just doing it, no shame, just do it, you know. And I have to tell you, you know, that's one of the things that I wanted to do, and I did it. Whenever he had the marketing booth at 6:30 in the morning, I think, I was there, you know, still yawning and stuff. But I wanted to be there, because learning from him about marketing and doing whatever necessary was just an excellent way of, I guess, when speaking about the convention, I have told people, you know, it's like a week. In a week's time, you see almost half a year of being in some college, you know.
Oh, easy. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So everything happens. And by the time you're done with that week, I don't know about other people, but I'm usually exhausted. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm glad it's over. You know, because there's so much learning. There's
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes when you're learning a new thing, you forget some of the old things that you had, and there's like this integration period, you know, after a big event like that, where you're trying to incorporate the new things into your practice.
Oh yes, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to May at the Ozarks, and I don't know if you have any more questions about the work I'm doing. I'm coming down now to small strokes here and there. I'm happy using this brush. It's kind of I don't know what number. Oh, it's a number 8, so it's a pretty thick one. And I knew I had to use something like this to be able to finish the task, except I just saw something where I need a smaller brush. So I'm gonna go for the ropes that are holding the boat on shore. And I think that will be probably it. I apologize for the technical inconveniences, and thank you for the invitation, and thank you for allowing me to show what I do.
Oh, we're so happy to have you on the show today, Efren. And I'm amazed, even with the technology issue, that you got a painting of this size done so far in just a short period of time. It's very impressive.
Yeah, this is a 16 by 20. And for me, this is a baby. I usually work 10 times bigger. So well, thank you. I wanted to share how it happens. It happens fairly fast. It's an effective, practical way of putting paint together and making it work, making it effective. Of course, many times, after I'm done with the first sitting or creating the piece, there's always an opportunity once it dries completely to go back and touch up here and there. But I love the spontaneity of of a painting done just freshly, without necessarily thinking so much about tiny details when it's done, because I love spontaneity in my work.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Please make sure to visit Efren's website at artefrengonzalez.com and follow him on Instagram at EfrenGonzalez_art. It's been so wonderful to have you on the show, and we very much appreciate you sharing your talents with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you did not already sign up for the Plein Air Convention and Expo, now is your time. You can go to the pleinairconvention.com. There are more hotel rooms now available. You can learn more by visiting the website. And everyone, don't forget to subscribe to this channel at Art School Live and on YouTube at Eric Rhoads on Instagram. And thank you. I will be here again tomorrow. Wait, I don't even know what date it is. I may or may not be here tomorrow. I have to check the schedule. But thank you for joining, and I look forward to seeing you next time.